Welcome back, everybody. Let's just move that microphone there. So welcome back. Let's have a look at Matic, One and Celer. So all three IEO, Binance, business beasts, and they're all leverageable now. So Harmony and Celer weren't. That's a recent occurrence. They've not been that way before, and Matic has obviously been like that for a little while now. So just before we go into the details of that, we're going to have a look at Bitcoin and just a very brief summary of what I think is going on with this, which is I don't know. All right, I'm going to tell you that now, and I'll tell you why I don't know. This area, this blue box area, is a resistance area. So we're finding support more or less at the bottom and resistance right at the top. Right in the middle is a support and resistance trend line. Okay, and that trend line isn't just a little one. This one goes back to before the parabolic top in 2017. So that's a big deal as well. And where are we with this candle body right now? Right smack back in the middle of that. So we're right in the middle of a resistance and support area with a super resistance and support area slashing through the center of that candle body. Now, because at the moment of this video the candle body is just ever so slightly above it, and if we close above it, that gives me a tiny little bit more nod to the bulls, ever so slightly, and really a trend line of that length, which is so long, it's not going to be 100% accurate. But it just can't be. It's not possible. There's too many supports and resistances. Happened dozens of times over the last 3 years, and you can't. There's no way to be. It's just not going to be 100% accurate. But generally speaking, within about $100, it roughly will be within $100, which is still a relative degree of accuracy. I would say, when we're talking about a $12,000 Bitcoin. If we close a candle above 12,000, and it's got to be a candle body, and it's got to be a little bit above 12,000 for me, but doing that would be bullish for me as well. And also I've got a theory, which is that the amount of money that's been made recently on alts, small cap alts, because the big caps have kind of slowed down now, they've made their moves, now it's gone back into the small cap alts. Oftentimes what I see is when that sort of thing happens, the money then flows back into Bitcoin and the top caps, but mainly Bitcoin. So there is that. There's going to be a lot of profit taking on all of these coins. And even with the ones we're going to look at now, there's been significant gains over the last 48 hours. But there's been even bigger gains with other coins on top of that. Generally speaking, most small cap coins have made big gains, and those profits are likely to find their way back to Bitcoin. Or maybe Ethereum, and maybe even XRP, we just don't know. But that theory could become reality and give it just that little push it needs to get above 12,000, and there we go, we'll have it and we'll be on our way. But there was also a CME gap down here at 9,600, and historically they do fill, so there is also that looming threat that we break down, and we break down to 10,500. Like I said in my video last night, I thought that was going to happen, because the only edge I've got at the moment really is these indicators and the supports and resistance, and the fact that we were looking relatively weak below this resistance, which is currently resistance, may turn to support trend line. So again, it's a kind of a 50-50. Yesterday I was bearish, today I'm slightly bullish. It doesn't make me a bad trader. It means that I'm playing the edge, and the edge at the moment isn't much of an edge until we either get above here or close below here, or obviously come back down to these levels. I think at the moment though, if I had to pick a side, today I'd be more in favour of the bulls, as yesterday I was definitely more in favour of the bears. So you can see I'm indecisive. I don't think there's anyone out there that can really give you an answer, but given the theory that I've mentioned, I think that Bitcoin could actually push to the up rather than to the down. But who knows? And it's not a trade that I'm willing to make. I mean, obviously I've got money in Bitcoin. I take profit in half Tether, half Bitcoin a lot of the time. But I'm not going to go long on it. I'm also not going to go short on it. I'm going to wait for it to decide which way it wants to go. Anyway, we're going to look at some of these other coins instead of boring you to death with Bitcoin. Matic. So I think it was yesterday or the day before, I made a video on Matic saying that this is what we need to do. We need to break above this trend line, which has been our support and resistance since we dropped out of the sky with the rest of the market. We were riding that up quite successfully, and then we broke down beneath it, and we were becoming rejected from it, essentially stuck beneath it. And just as of yesterday, we came up to test the top of this blue box support, and then rejected all the way back down again. So this corresponds to these levels here. 23 cent basically is the area to beat. So rejected, rejected, rejected. Blue box tippy top there, rejected. Bottom top rejected. So, and again yesterday rejected from it. So no big surprise there, because as people like to call this coin a scam, it's actually relatively tradable, and I do like it for that reason. So at the moment we have overshot and overreached, but we're above this uptrend, which may even at this point turn to support. We are above it. That's one giant wick from bottom to top there. That's really tasty, really nice profit to be made there. And if we close above here, there's every chance that it can turn to support. If we close above this 24 cent, then I would say that we're going to make our way to it's not 24 cent, 2.4 cent. slow down. But if we do close above there on a candle body, then there's every chance, and I would probably say quite likely, that we will make our way up to 2.7 cent, which is the super resistance for Matic, as we see resistance, 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 and that would then become resistance. And breaking above there it will bring back warm fuzzy memories of all the times that we've doubled, quadrupled our money with Matic. So it'll bring back all those lovely memories, and then maybe we'll see a giant Matic style dump, who knows. But this is what Matic seems to like to do. We're aware of that, we're careful with it, and we can trade it. So that's where I am with Matic. So at the moment it looks like it wants to close back within this blue box, which is fine. So long as it's above the uptrend, I'm very happy with that. We'll see if that's supported. But given what I said about Bitcoin being so indecisive, if Bitcoin dumps, then I don't think Matic will survive that dump. But it could. It has in the past. It's also rebounded from a market dump to actually go ahead and do this move. This was in the wake of a giant dump from the entire market, pushing us down to this level, and then we rebounded all the way up there. So anything's possible with Matic. Doesn't like to play by the rules. It's been given a bad name, and I understand why people are scared of it. And I particularly, I respect it as a chart. It's a scary chart, but it's tradable, and that's the important thing. Let's have a look at how many ones. So essentially, these are all IEO coins through Binance. They're all layer 2 scaling technology, so not that means much to me. I like to trade the charts, but from this one, I got in when the golden cross was, and I sold around here. I didn't get back in again, and now we're looking like we're really pushing. This is, I would expect, is to do with the giant dip that we had here, with the RSI and still being in bullish territory with the MACD there. So this, I think, is going to blow off its top. Let's have a look if there's anything that we can work out on this with a fib retracement. So we go right from the very top right to the very bottom. And what do we see? We're coming into the top of the golden pocket, actually. So this is make or break for it, and I would probably say that it's likely to retrace from this level. If we hit 1.244 cent, we're probably going to find a rejection from there, and maybe bring us all the way back down to maybe the 10 simple, the 10 EMA, roughly just below 1 cent, and we'll see how that goes. Is this going to cause a Matic style dump because now it's margin tradable, so you can short this asset? Maybe it would do. I mean, this wick was pretty high, quite a rejection from this area, and was there any reason historically why that area was of any significance? Not really, but you can see how the fib retracement corresponds to these candle bodies here and these rejections around here. So I would say that this would be the top for now, and if it isn't the top, then it will literally rip all the way up to the top of here, going up to 1.6 cent, and maybe carrying on after that. Who knows? It's a small cap coin, and it's margin tradable. If it breaks here, then there's every possibility that it'll start making incremental steps up, really pushing hard. But my first expectation is that we will find a rejection around about this level, which is the top of the golden pocket. The fib retracement bringing us to 1.242 cent roughly. So let's apply that logic to Celer then, shall we? So Celer basically doing exactly the same. I don't know which one is in the lead. I don't know who is the front runner, but they basically appear to be moving together. That was I'm not very good with my mouse today. Right, so here we go. Let's see what we've got here. So Celer to me has a different chart. It started a lot higher and came down a lot more, and actually we're only reaching into the golden pocket now. So this red zone here could have all been classed as you could even call it accumulation, really, for the big bold move that could take us all the way up to 4 cent. Is that likely? I don't think it's very likely, but let's have a look at some of these indicators. So RSI's got room to move. MACD wants to leave my computer screen and go tickle my next door neighbour. Money flow index is right in the middle. There's plenty of room to move on this one. Moving averages all in a very nice spread. They're not very even, but they're nice all the same. It's not a perfect setup, but it's pretty good. This one could go even further, and because this one and Harmony One are moving together, it wouldn't surprise me if this brings Harmony One up with it through default, because not a lot of people will be trading this in the same respect and using the same tools as me. This fib retracement it looks reasonably proportionate to the price action, in all fairness, but it's not as neat as the Harmony One chart. So maybe this one will, if Harmony gets rejected, I think it might bring down Celer, but if Celer manages to bring itself up to 1.58 cent, it could take Harmony with it. They're both more or less trending together. There's no rhyme or reason for them to move together, only that they're associated with the same technology, the same launchpad, and more or less the same price. So they might as well be the same entity. So I think you're going to find them trend together in that respect. So personally, I'd be looking to. Well, I mean, I took profit on Celer yesterday, so the move it did today, that's fine. I don't mind missing out, considering I gained so much. It looks like a steep rejection here, but Harmony is probably yet to find its rejection, which is going to be around that level. Just have a look at Matic. So Matic's not doing a great deal here. So yeah, I mean, that's the situation with these 3 coins, and I would expect that they will find rejections here. Out of all of these, I actually prefer Matic as of this moment in time to these other 2. I think Matic is the one that will likely make the bigger move in the very short term, if there's a move to be made from this point forward with either of these 3. But we also have to be well aware of what's going on with Bitcoin, which is it doesn't have a clue. We've got a wick at the top here, we've got a wick at the bottom there, we've got a little candle body here. It's closing. It looks like it wants to close in the middle of the rejection of the blue box resistance and support zone, basically on the line that it's been closing here, which is the 3-year resistance and support line. So massive indecisiveness. You couldn't make this stuff up. This is in every single way a 50-50 gamble at the moment, and yet, like I said, the only thing I've got that gives me that little inclination that it's likely to go bullish is just the theory that all the profit taking that people have been making these last few days and weeks on these micro caps will then go into Bitcoin. So that's all I've got to go on. At the moment, the chart literally says to me I'm 55% in favour of the bulls, 45 in favour of the bears, and that's no place to be for a trader. Anyway, I'll leave it with you there. Thank you for watching. Join my Telegram, subscribe to the channel, and I hope you have a nice evening. Take it easy.